I just watched, like an hour ago, finished YellowBrickRoad. No spaces between the words, just one mashed together thing from 2010. And damn, the brief summary says something like town's population just one day stood up and went to the woods, and most of them died. Only one returned insane, and the rest just disappeared into thin air. I mean, never found. Sure, that's true, but it's not really the movie. And I want to explain the ending mostly, because this is a Blair Witch situation. People walking in the woods. In the Blair Witch you find those stick figures and rock piles. Here is the music. It's not a big reveal, it's like half or two-thirds of the movie. You have the music coming from somewhere and you are just going in the direction of it. They are actually a well-organized group. This is a research group who is trying to write a book about it. I don't know, paranormal or just travel book, whatever. They have a cartographer, they have a psychologist. So, and there is a local, they hire a local who is leading them, supposedly. That's the weak point of the movie, because the characters don't really get used much for what they are, what skills they are gotten. But the pacing and the length of the movie, yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't know how I should have solved it. So it's just a brief thing, and it goes. The title refers to the Wizard of Oz, and in a sense, yeah, there is, and you obviously see some thumbnail or poster for this thing, and there is that character dressed as the Strowman. Not much of that in this, but it goes full cosmic horror. The Yellow Brick Road is the path the people from the town took. There, I don't really see anything. They just going into the woods. So yeah, there is that. But they transform this, and this will be the spoiler part. The ending is, one of them gets to the ending, although in theory the point is it turns into a whole metaphor. The whole movie turns into a metaphor where the Yellow Brick Road is just life, from birth to death. So it doesn't really have an ending, or it has many endings. But there is this character who reaches to what I would describe the place of God. The place where you can look on the wall thing. It's a timeless thing where you can just, everything can be viewed from this viewpoint. And that's kind of the reward for the journey. It's marvelously cosmic horror when you think about it, but the whole thing is just go in the wood, and it's just, there is this music, and it causes some nervous breakdown, and that's another briefly mentioned about weak point, that you had this expedition getting lost and everyone gets cuckoo and they get onto each other's nerve and they start to kill each other and so on and so on. For old times it worked because even to get to the point like let's say Antarctica, you had to travel on ship for months, so you were already isolated from the world. So the breakdown when you get lost, you lost your resources, you don't know how to get out of the situation, that can happen quickly. Or Blair Witch Project actually did this one thing good, because although they spent like a week at most in the wood, it had a kind of timelessness in it for it. So you didn't notice that the breakdown of the group happened so quickly. Here, you definitely will see, why are they starting to go mad? Of course, you tick the box that, yeah, there is the music, so it's probably that. It's a bit too rush, but I tell you, even that no one is holding a camera and recording it, this is a found footage movie. And even though it's, finding the certain parts of the journey would be impossible, but still, it is. And I was really astonished by it. It was great. I bet barely anyone saw it. It is on YouTube though. Sure, maybe because the title or something, it was hard to find, but yeah, it is on YouTube, and it is something that's really one of the movies that if shown in the cinemas widespread, people would talk about it. So if you like, if you don't mind that it's lesser known, you would like to find a movie that you can introduce to your friends or whatever, this is one of those movies, because it's just made, I think, from a couple $1,000, but it is really well made. It leaves a mark on you. This is just a good movie, especially in 2025, watching it. What was in the cinemas or even on streaming? Yeah, there is Wednesday season 2 coming out in 2 parts, 2 blocks. I don't know why that is. It would be much more comfortable to release it weekly or something like that. Anyway, the point is, I am not showing any footage because there is not much to show. It's people walking in the woods, but it just works.